Welcome back. Let's talk about one of the most intense matches of the Cincinnati Open so far, Alexandra Eala against Amanda Anisimova in the round of 32. This was never going to be ordinary. Anisimova walked in as a top 10 player, a two-time Grand Slam finalist in 2025, and the owner of 4 WTA titles, including 2 at the 1000 level. Eala walked in as the 17th seed, riding the momentum of her first WTA title in Washington and the electric support that has followed her all summer. Another top 10 opponent, another high-stakes test. And what unfolded was a war of attrition, tactics, and pure will that stretched late into the night and left both players drained. The Filipino crowd showed up in full force once again. Flags, chants, and the kind of all-out support that has become the soundtrack of Eala's North American swing. Both players left everything on the court. Emotions ran high, momentum swung back and forth, and both of them kept reaching for bananas during changeovers, potassium for a match that demanded every ounce of energy they had. This is the full breakdown of a match that lived up to every bit of the hype. Eala served first. The opening exchanges were already physical. A short rally ended with an unforced error from Anisimova, and Eala immediately used the lefty angle to pull her opponent wide. The serve was effective early, placement over pure pace, and Anisimova struggled to time the returns cleanly. After a deuce, Eala closed out the first game, 1-0. Anisimova responded. Her own serve found its range, and she used the left side effectively to open the court. Eala missed a couple of returns, and the American leveled at 1-1. The tone was set. Neither player was going to give anything away cheaply. In the third game, Eala's serve continued to create problems. The slower delivery with heavy placement forced awkward returns. She earned points directly off the serve and then produced a sharp piece of defense when Anisimova tried a drop shot. Eala reached it in time and redirected the ball into the open court. Another hold. 2-1. The fourth game went to deuce again. Anisimova's serve was the difference this time. Eala found herself under pressure on the return and could not convert the opportunities that appeared. 2-2. Then came the fifth game, the one that will be remembered for a long time. What followed was a marathon. The score locked at deuce and stayed there. Point after point. Advantage Eala, deuce. Advantage Anisimova, deuce. The rallies were long, mostly down-the-line exchanges and heavy baseline striking. Both players refused to yield. Facial expressions showed the strain. The crowd rose with every big point. 13 deuces, 13. Research afterward confirmed it matched one of the highest recorded deuce counts in a single game in the modern era, previously associated with matches involving Steffi Graf. The game lasted more than 20 minutes. Anisimova created 8 breakpoint chances. Eala saved every single one. When she finally converted, forcing an error after Anisimova tried to cover the middle and then redirect, the celebration was pure release. 3-2. The game alone felt like a set. Both players sat down, looking spent. The physical toll was already visible. Bananas appeared on both sides of the net. The changeover felt longer than usual, as if both athletes needed every extra second to recover. Anisimova immediately responded in the sixth game, holding to level at 3-3. She carried that momentum into the seventh, stringing together points and breaking Eala's serve. Suddenly, it was 4-3 Anisimova, and the Filipino supporters felt the first real wave of tension. Eala steadied herself in the eighth game. Errors crept into Anisimova's side of the court. A long rally ended with the American missing wide after trying to wrong-foot Eala. Another rally, another error. Eala held for 4-4. The set was level again. In the ninth game, the lefty serve returned as a weapon. Anisimova could not cleanly return successive deliveries. Eala moved to 5-4 and sat down for the changeover with another banana, recharging for the finish. The 10th game delivered the set. Eala mixed directions, used the left and right pattern that has become a signature, and forced one final error. First set, 6-4, a hard-earned, high-quality set of tennis that had already produced a historic deuce game and multiple swings of momentum. The crowd roared. Eala raised her fist. Anisimova walked to her chair with the look of a player who knew the battle was only beginning. The second set began with Eala still carrying the momentum. She held the opening game with more clean striking and the same ability to pull Anisimova out of position. 1-0. The early exchanges continued to favor the Filipina as errors appeared on the Americans' racket. EALA moved ahead 3-2, 3 points from taking a commanding lead in the set. Anisimova, however, is a proven fighter. She found a higher gear. A well-disguised change of pace left EALA out of position. Longer rallies started leaning her way. She broke and then held to lead 4-3, then 5-3. The momentum had shifted completely. The heavy, flat ball that Anisimova is known for began to land deeper and with more weight. EALA's timing, so sharp in the first set, started to fray just enough under the constant pressure. EALA refused to fold. In the ninth game, she forced 2 consecutive unforced errors with deep, penetrating balls and leveled the pressure. But Anisimova's serve held firm in the decisive moments. Errors crept into EALA's side when she tried to force the issue. Anisimova closed out the second set 6-4. 1 set all. Both players had left everything on the court. Both had eaten bananas through the breaks. Both had produced stretches of excellent tennis mixed with the inevitable tension of a high-stakes third-round match. The 13-deuce game in the first set stood as the emotional and physical centerpiece, a microcosm of the entire battle. The level had been high enough and the fight stubborn enough that neither player deserved to walk away after 2 sets. The crowd remained fully invested. The Filipino support never wavered, and 2 competitors who refused to give easy points prepared to go again. This was exactly the kind of match the third-round billing promised. A top 10 player with Grand Slam final experience against a rising force playing with belief. Backed by a crowd that has turned every venue this summer into home soil. Tactics, temperament, and physical endurance all came into play. The lefty angles caused problems. The flat, heavy striking from Anisimova applied constant pressure. Neither could pull away for long. The third set began with EALA still showing fight. She held her opening service game cleanly. Then she broke Anisimova to lead 2-0. The crowd sensed another possible chapter. For a moment, it looked like the Filipina might seize control again, but Anisimova had other ideas. From 0-2 down, the American produced her best stretch of the night. She broke back immediately. Then she held. Then she broke again. The heavy ball kept landing in the corners. EALA's movement, so impressive earlier, began to look just a fraction slower after nearly 2 hours of intense tennis. Anisimova's serve found another gear. The points became shorter. The errors started flowing from EALA's side of the court when she tried to force winners from difficult positions. 6 games in a row, Anisimova closed out the set 6-2 and the match 4-6, 6-4, 6-2 in 2 hours and 28 minutes. The final games were clinical. EALA fought until the last point, but the physical and mental reserves that had carried her through the epic first set deuce game and the second set battle had finally been spent. When the handshake came, both players looked exhausted. Anisimova had earned the win with resilience and quality when it mattered most. EALA had shown once again why so many people believe in her future. She had pushed a top 10 player to the limit, produced one of the longest and most dramatic games of the season, and walked off court with her head high after another heavyweight battle. For EALA, the Cincinnati run ends in the round of 32, but the summer has already been transformative. A first WTA title in Washington. Strong performances against elite opposition, and a growing army of supporters who turn every match into an event. The ranking will continue to climb. The belief will only grow stronger. The US Open now awaits. For Anisimova, the victory provides important momentum and a place in the round of 16 against Linda Noskova. She showed the fight that took her to 2 Grand Slam finals last year and reminded everyone that when her game is clicking, she remains one of the most dangerous players on the hard courts. This match will be remembered for that 5th game of the first set, 13 deuces, more than 20 minutes, 8 breakpoints saved, and a young player refusing to yield. It will also be remembered for the way Anisimova responded when the match was on the line in the 3rd set. Both stories matter. Both players left everything on the court. Tennis at this level is rarely simple. It is a test of legs, mind, and heart. On this night in Cincinnati, both Alexandra Eala and Amanda Anisimova passed that test in different ways. One walked away with the win. Both walked away with respect. If you stayed with us through all 3 sets, through the marathon deuce game, through the momentum swings and the late-night drama, you already know what this channel is about. We don't just watch the points, we sit with the ones who refuse to give up. What did you make of that battle? Especially the 13 deuce game that felt like it might never end. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you've been following EALA's entire run through Washington, Toronto, and now this heavyweight clash in Cincinnati, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another deep dive. The story of this rising force is far from finished, and we will be here for every chapter. See you in the next one.